Accessibility is one of the major factors for all specially abled athletes. They do face significant logistical challenges in their daily lives, and barriers include inaccessible vehicles, bus stops, train stations, and even basic footpaths. DD India's correspondent Suchitra had an exclusive conversation with the founder and chairperson of Swayam, Sminu Jindal. Swayam is the accessibility partner for Khelo India Para Games. Let's take a listen to them.
The first edition of Khelo India Para Games has begun. Accessibility is the main issue when it comes to organizing sporting events for the para-athletes. We have with us Ms. Sminu Jindal, who is the founder of Swayam, the accessibility partner of the first edition of Khelo India Para Games. Ma'am, many congratulations for being a part of the first edition of Khelo India Para Games. How do you look at the role of accessibility when it comes to organizing sporting events for para-athletes?
Accessibility is a very important aspect. It is often misunderstood, but it is a very integral part, especially for the para-athletes and these games. Yet having said that, it's a very integral part for all of us because we all grow older and we live longer. This helps us to chase our dreams, to be what we want to be, and not let infrastructure and transport decide what we do want in our lives. Not cage us in our golden cages and keep us from achieving our dreams.
We saw how Indian para-athletes performed in the para-Asian Games, and they are just going from strength to strength. So how do you look at the role of Khelo India Para Games when it comes to providing a platform to the para-athletes?
Of course, with the various successes that we've had at Tokyo Paralympics, then Commonwealth, and now recently the Asian Games, yet we must understand India is a huge country, and the tribulations and trials of the individuals who actually come from villages to play in states. Accessibility is non-existent. How do they come to cities? How do they participate in state games? Therefore, accessibility in transport is a very, very basic need. I would imagine that railways and buses, since India has such a large public network of travel, we must look at accessibility as a whole so that players can come from villages to states and states to the country and then internationally and make more fame for India in coming years.
Prime Minister has termed this beautiful term Divyang for the specially abled athletes, and he has always said that their achievements are bigger than the achievement of the other athletes. So how do you look at the para athletes, because they have a long journey, and the tagline "Champions Beyond Limits," it just proves that they are really the champions beyond the limits.
I agree with you, because Divyang was a terminology possibly used by him to get over a certain amount of stigma attached to it, and for other people to change mindsets. Changing mindsets is not easy. Therefore, I feel the only way to really change it is by making these people become an integral part of society, and that can only happen if accessibility is there in infrastructure. Like there should be ramps with railings, there should be elevators, there should be proper city planning in terms of roads, transport. All that will go a long, long way, because sometimes it's nice if we don't have to get up in the morning thinking we have to climb Mount Everest, and it'll be nice if human beings can help us in achieving those dreams. I'm really surprised with the amount of talent that's available, and this talks about human spirit, which is unshakable, unchainable.
What was your biggest challenge when it comes to providing accessibility for these games? What is the biggest roadblock?
Something that is that direct, like these games, it's very easy to provide accessibility. My biggest challenge is to help people understand and change mindsets, that small little things actually doesn't make their life difficult. Like the emojis, they actually were made for deaf and mute. But don't we all enjoy using it? Similarly, there are lots and lots of things that are going to make quality improvement in everybody's lives. Unfortunately, we do not give it a chance because we are all so busy leading our lives. So my biggest hurdle is mindset change and acceptance of people, to be able to include different people from different walks of life, especially with different abilities, to come forward.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So Ms. Sminu Jindal feels that India is a resilient country and accessibility is going to be a main point when it comes to the success of the first edition of Khelo India Para Games. With camera person Naveen, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India in New Delhi.